Let's find out what the big ones are that we're going to focus on. The National Council of Provinces is expected to consider and debate the report of the Constitutional Review Committee on the review of Section 25 of the Constitution.
Also today, the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services will discuss the request to expedite procedures to remove the public protector from office.
All right, sentencing proceedings in the murder trial of property mogul Jason Roda resumes in the High Court in Cape Town today.
All right, some of the big stories to look out for today, and let's find out what it was that got your fingers moving on Twitter yesterday, and let's just see what's happening, what it is that caught your imagination. Right, there are a few that I can think of, but we'll just wait for them to come up. There they are.
First up, Johan Rupert. Now, Johan Rupert was in a conversation last night. I think it was on Power FM, and it was broadcast, and that certainly got a lot of people talking about Johan Rupert on the chairman's conversation. Did you listen to it? Were you watching it all?
No.
I have to confess, I tried and I did fall asleep to it. It's very difficult when you know that your alarm clock is going to go off in a couple of hours. So it was a bit difficult, but I'm just catching up on some of the things that people were saying on social media.
Very interesting if you look at it there. But of course, Johan Rupert is someone that many people talk about all the time, in fact. So it was a good opportunity to get him and basically, as it were, hear it from the horse's mouth, 100%. What his views are on certain things.
It was, and I know that one of the other trending topics was taboo. And now, for those that are living in the Johannesburg area, and even if you don't live in the Joburg area, I'm sure you know it as a nightclub. And what I think Johan Rupert had gone on to say was that on his ancestors, some who died in concentration camps, Rupert says they were driven. They studied like crazy. They didn't buy BMWs and hang out at Taboo. So that was that hit a nerve with a lot of people, and suddenly that appears to be trending. So,
it's still hitting a nerve, even as you say it right now.
Okay, park it, leave it. Let's not get upset already on a Wednesday morning. A good news story, two good news stories actually. Kevin Hart is trending. Now, Kevin Hart, the reason he's trending, he's going to be the host of the Oscars, the Academy Awards for next year. The event takes place in February, and he has announced that he's going to be the host of the 91st Academy Awards, and it's a big moment for him.
Good for him.
Yeah, really good for him. It's a great thing. A lot of pressure on him because, you know, the one thing about the Oscars is that unfortunately viewership has been decreasing every single year. In fact, it's so dramatic that I'm reading different amounts that we're watching. In 2014, they had a viewership of 43 million people. Last year, 24 million people. So
and there are various reasons for that, of course, and amongst them the fact that people are more woke, and you are seeing a lot more of some of the social-political conversations being woven into these award ceremonies as well.
Yeah, very much so. So, yeah, that's the big news that you'll see this morning. Kevin Hart and Shamila Batohi, Advocate Shamila Batohi.
Congratulations to her.
Indeed.
You know what? For me, it was between the two female candidates. It was either her or Andrea Johnson, because I thought Andrea Johnson also gave a sterling interview. So for me, I'm happy that it was one of the two. But I tell you what, there's great expectation here from Shamila Batohi and what needs to happen to the NPA. But one of the things, and I was thinking about this last night, one of the things that I would be looking out for is whether she will have the appetite to go back and look at those 300 cases that the TRC handed over and that the NPA has been sitting on and did nothing about. It's going to be interesting to see where her focus is going to be. Naturally, she needs to turn around that organization, restore credibility to it, but as far as the cases that they actually go on and prosecute, what is she going to prioritize? Is it going to be high-profile political cases? Is she going to strike a good balance between all of these things? It remains to be seen.
Very interesting. So we're going to have some analysis on that as well. We've got Freedom Under Law, our guests in studio, Nicole Fritz. She'll be talking to us about the new head of the NPA. So do stay tuned. That'll happen later this hour. And the question of the day. So we sort of taken a little bit of a different stance today and looking at right, I know this is a big date. So much happened on this day, but I think we're going to be talking about it through the program. But this morning, we're looking at something, that could happen next year. Should South Africa even be considering hosting the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, given the country's current socioeconomic challenges? And it's an election year, and financially,
we've been struggling.
Tough.
Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
Well, we can't even notch up 1% growth in GDP. So
yeah.
Should we even be thinking about this, or should we just say, you know what, let this one pass us by?
Let it go away. Let's not be the go-to guys this time. Although it's almost like we do need something to bring us together again, and it seems like as a country, sport is the one thing that knows how to unite us. So I'm not sure. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you this morning. Okay, at Morning Live SABC, #Morning Live. Okay.
That's it.